Employment and economic uncertainty, Americans are still opening up their wallets for the holidays. Despite everything that 2020 has thrown our way, people have continued to spend on Christmas gifts and decorations. Here to talk about what that means for the country and the economy is economics professor and Young Voices contributor Alexander Salter. Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I am one of those people, it's Christmas time and how can you not spend? I've been doing all of my shopping online, but it seems consumers, at least those who still have jobs, appear to be back in business, but it's so hard to believe given the economic impact this pandemic has had.
Yes, that's right. Consumers are doing okay. All things considered, I think that we really have reason to be optimistic. It's true that consumer spending fell just a little bit by 0.4%. You would expect it to be up a little bit for the holidays. But when all is said and done, I think with the pandemic, things are actually going pretty well. And I think we have reason for optimism going into the new year.
It seems consumers are more confident now than they were at the beginning of the pandemic. Why do you think that is?
Because we know so much more now. We have a better understanding of the disease. We know its course. We have better treatments. And of course, there's the vaccine. And with the vaccines being distributed first to the frontline workers and the elderly, things are looking up. And I think consumers are taking that into account, which is why they're not as shy with their wallets.
Yeah, and maybe they've saved, maybe they haven't spent money on going on vacations or dining out as much, which allows them to have more money to play with. But is that why people are being so open with spending? Because you would think with a pandemic, they'd want to kind of hunker down and not spend as much.
I think people are looking for a little bit of holiday cheer. I think they're craving that little bit of normalcy that comes from the usual Black Friday spending splurge. And I don't think that that's anything to be upset about. I think that we should take solace in these things, especially this year, which is so hard. We should be happy that people are looking for a little bit of normal in their lives. And we should help them get back to that as soon as we can.
Yeah, I know for us, we haven't seen our families. My family is all the way across the country in California, and I haven't been able to hug them or see them or spend time with them. So I think for me, it was almost like a feel-good thing. I wanted to spoil them and shower them with gifts because I couldn't be there in person to spend actual time with them. I wonder how much that is playing into the psyche right now.
I'm sure that's some of it. I definitely feel your pain. I have family in California as well, and I miss them desperately. So I think that whatever the motivation behind what's driving consumer sentiment and consumer spending, again, I think that the ultimate thing that we can say for sure is people are looking to get back to normal in a relatively painless way, in a safe and responsible way, and that should be encouraged, not discouraged.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a recession, but before the pandemic hit, the economy was doing pretty good. What does this say right now, the spending that you're seeing across the country? What does that say for the outlook for 2021?
I think it says that the economy is fundamentally on a sustainable course. We know what's wrong with the economy. The virus is what's wrong with the economy. And we're getting a handle on that now. More and more people are getting the vaccine. That's great news for economic activity to pick up starting early next year.
Yeah, and the good news is that, hopefully with the vaccine, as you mentioned, that's going to give people more and more confidence to get some normalcy back. I've also was reading that consumer spending on goods has been stronger than on services.
That's the data that I've been looking at, too. You can think of a number of reasons why that would be the case. It's easier to spend on goods remotely than it is to spend on services remotely. So I think that fits the profile for what we would expect while people are still being a little bit cautious and physical distancing while still trying to get back to normal consumption habits.
Okay, I'm going to take this as all positive news as we're going into 2021. So I hope you see it that way as well.
I do. I'm optimistic about the future. I think American consumers have reason to be optimistic about the future, too. I think the darkest days are behind us, and we have a great new year to look forward to.
Oh, yes. We can't wait to get rid of 2020 and welcome 2021 with open arms. Alexander Salter, great to see you. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
We'll be right back.